What's your assessment of the boys?
Well, there are always some that are better than others. I mean, there's several strong players there. It's like any local. I'm used to coaching some of the best players in India. So whenever you go to a local situation, it's a little different. It's not quite that high of a level, but you're always looking for that hidden player maybe that you haven't seen yet. But I've enjoyed. I think there is some talent here, and hopefully we'll look forward to having several of them with us.
More than physical attributes, what do you like to see in a player? What is that spark that you look for in a player?
Well, first of all, I always ask them to play hard. That's something you've got to play hard all the time, and that's one of my requirements. The other thing I ask them to do is play together. This is a team sport. If they want to go play golf or play tennis, they can do that. But when you play basketball, you're not out there on your own. It's a team, 5 players playing together, as well as the ones on the bench, and so it's very much a team sport. And the last thing that kind of goes along with it, I ask all my players to put team above self. All right? Always the team comes first, and self is down there. So those are the kind of attributes I'm looking for. And then, beyond that, just some toughness and some willingness to have some drive. And of course, we're looking at both ends of the floor, not just shooters, offensive players. We want to see defensive players as well. So, Coach, you made it.
What's your expectations for the games?
Well, it's a little unknown because I'll be honest, I'm not aware of the competition yet. And once I find that out, I'm going to do all the checking I can, the scouting I can, and see who we're. So it's a little bit unknown right now. I know some of our players, but I think I'll reserve that. Now, I will tell you this: we'll do the best we can, and our goal will be to win every game. I'm highly competitive. I don't like to lose. And so we'll do our best to win, but it depends on how high the competition is as well.
It's been over a year for you in India in this job. So how have you gone about your job?
Well, I love being in the gym. I love the players. I love working with the coaches. That's the best part of my job, and that's really when I step onto the court. That's really when I start working. I feel like I'm a teacher, and that's my classroom. Like any other teacher. When I step onto that court, there's my classroom, and I start teaching. So I enjoy India. I love Indian food, and that hasn't always been the case, I think, with the foreign coaches. I thought maybe I'd be losing weight. I think I put on about 10 pounds since I've been here. But I enjoy the food, and I love the people. That's the biggest thing. It's different than the USA. It's different. There's adjustments, and it's a different culture. But I love the people, and I really appreciated my position. And like coaches like KK that made me feel welcome.
You go around the country and to different states to have a look at the top players now?
Well, I do. Mostly it's in tournaments that I go to some of the national tournaments, and those are players from all over the country. And then I actually go to different places to train. And then we're involved also with some coaches training that will be in different parts of the country. So, if any state ever wants me to come down to a clinic or camp, if I have time, my schedule, I love doing that. So,
what is your target for Indian basketball team in the new year?
Well, of course, my targets are always high, and I have high expectations for myself. There are some limitations, and I know that, but I've only really worked with the team, for the national team, just about 4 months total. If you're talking about just our coaching camps. But, we want to always be getting better every day. We made a small improvement in the ABCs this year. We went from 14 to 11. I would have liked to have been higher. Nobody, would like that more than I would. But we did see some improvement. The girls did improve some. And so now we need to build on that and take it higher. And hopefully someday we're talking about a medal. But, I'm realistic too, and I know that doesn't happen overnight. We have some things that we need to do. And I think coaches mentioned this a few times. A real important thing is really even working with the younger kids. Yes, I'm coaching the senior team, but most of them have kind of reached what they're going to do. They can get some better, but we're trying to really reach the younger kids and build a good base and teach them the fundamentals so by the time they get to be, and maybe I won't even be here, but by the time they get to be on that senior team, they're going to be solid fundamental basketball players.
When can we see an Indian playing in the NBA, or what Indian will have to do to feature in an NBA?
Well, I get asked that a lot, and You know, we'll see. I don't know if there's someone right now that's real close to that, but we have some great young players in India, and I think a lot of it will be determined how hard they work and how they grow and what kind of coaching they get. And so I think we always have to stay optimistic about that, but I can't tell you that this person's going to for sure make it at this point. I think we have several young, good young players. The NBA is a high level of basketball. That's where I coached before I came here. And so, those are the best athletes in the world. And so, but I'm sure it will happen. I just don't know how soon.
Continuing our focus on the developments in the I-League, today we have the highlights of a couple of exciting matches. But before we get to see the action, let me brief you about the last round's results. The I-League has now come to the end of the first phase, with new entrants Bengaluru Football Club topping the table with a victory over Sargaonkar FC. Sporting Club de Goa are placed second with a game in hand over Bengaluru after beating United SC in their last match. Pune FC suffered a defeat to Mohan Bagan in the last round but are still holding on to their third place. Vastly improved Shillong Lajong are in fourth position after doing a historic double over Dampo Sports Club, who shockingly find themselves in the 10th place. Sargaonkar have lost their spark a bit and slid down to the 5th position. The new year will provide the clubs the opportunity to strengthen their teams through the transfer window. With nearly a 7-week break now before the I-League resumes in February, the clubs will have enough time to assess their weak links and come up with solutions. The I-League this season has been unpredictable and exciting in a similar fashion as the English Premier League, although the standards are poles apart. With some additions to the squads in the transfer period, the I-League can become more exciting in the new year. Let's watch some I-League action from the last round. With this, we come to the end of this program. Wishing you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's time to say goodbye.